Hello and welcome to this triple threat Let's Play video of The Last of Us Part 1 here, newly released on PC. And today I'm joined by my colleagues playing on a variety of machines to kind of test this game, put it through the performance, do some comparisons there to the PlayStation 5 version, to kind of go over this in a different way than usual due to how troubled this release is at launch. But enough of that out of the way. I want to introduce my colleagues here. Of course, we have Richard Ledbetter over there on a machine made for gods. Is that not right, Rich?
That is correct, yes. I'm running The Last of Us Part 1 here on a Core i9-12900K, 6000 megatransfers per second, DDR5, RTX 4090, max settings, ultra, native resolution. This is, essentially the ultimate full fat experience.
And I'm on a Ryzen 5 3600, by the way, RTX 2070 Super, and then 1440p with some mixed settings I'll talk about later. But before I get to those, I wanted to introduce John here, who's over there on the PlayStation 5 version.
Yes, the most powerful PC of the bunch, the supercomputer, the RDNA 6 powered PlayStation 5.
Yes, of course.
Do you have the optional GPU active in the power brick?
Yes, of course.
Of course he
It's
does. That's the way it works. Where to start here? We obviously would have loved to have covered this game in the normal way where I do a dedicated video with all the optimized settings and that, but we found the state of the game at launch to be troubled enough where that kind of wasn't a really good option due to the patching cycle that will presumably be occurring right now. So that's why the video is the way it is right now.
Yeah, essentially there's hotfixes every day. So this is like a snapshot, a moment in time where we've had 2 hotfixes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just recently installed the one this morning. It required a new pre-compilation step to occur, which was notably faster. So one thing that this game is kind of already famous for is when you start it up for the first time, there was, at launch, and still is, a lengthy shader pre-compilation step. Now this is really good, and it's something that I actually praised in the Uncharted 4 Legacy of Thieves edition port there from Iron Galaxy, and you want that to essentially avoid as much shader compilation stutter as possible, and that's something that this game doesn't seem to suffer from at all due to that, but it was admittedly rather lengthy. It was around 40 minutes or so, actually longer on the Ryzen 5 3600 at launch, and I just redid it right now and it was around 30 minutes. I don't know, how was it on your end, Rich?
Yeah, it was quite fast. I didn't quite get the numbers there yet. I did capture it, however. But it is faster for sure. And also loading times from menus seem to be faster as well, which was highly problematic before that.
And I can report at least that the PS5 has no shader compilation process and the loading times are faster. Yeah,
the loading times are a pretty big issue in this port. I mean, later we're going to skip a cutscene, and I imagine we're going to see some pretty interesting loading differences when we do that. Another thing to talk about is that essentially when you get past the pre-compilation step, eventually you'll be confronted by the settings menu in this game. And I do want to praise a couple things about it before I get into some slight nitpicking here, is that all the options do appear to be changeable in real time. They have nice preview images, and they do technically give you a sense of what they'll be affecting in your PC, whether it be VRAM, GPU, CPU. I don't think all the options always necessarily line up with what they say, like in terms of VRAM. Some of them seem to point towards affecting VRAM, even though they don't, according to the VRAM bar there. And yeah, that's all good stuff. But the wealth of them is also praisable, but some of them are a bit placebo, which is kind of an issue I always have with settings, where some don't really do too much.
Should we move forward, gentlemen?
Yeah, so you can already see some big issues on my end. I don't know if you're seeing this, but I'm running the game with VSync right now, and Rich is over there punching zombies. And let's try and get this explosion to occur. Oh, no, wait, Rich is going to die.
I just got killed.
Wait, you just got killed in the introduction, Rich?
So what you can see on my end...
We could fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post, yeah. Rich is obviously still alive.
Oh, okay, I see how that happens. If you just stand still too long, zombies just show up.
Yeah, one thing you'll see on my end is that just...
So let's keep moving.
Moving through the intro here, there's some incredibly impressive CPU utilization going on here per core. Each core reads and thread reads the exact same here on my Ryzen 5 3600. But just normal walking around this intro area, completely CPU limited, down into the 40s already.
What?
And it's just,
I see it, yeah.
It's just 40s, 45 FPS right here. CPU is being hammered into dust.
Flat 60 here on the PS5.
Yeah, 0 issues. I'm playing on the high settings for everything at 1440p DLSS quality. And the only things that are lower are the textures, which are set to medium, which we'll talk about in a second as well too. But basically, this is a core issue with the game. With essentially, it is very, very CPU limited, and I think actually on most rigs, it'll be the primary issue you run into. For example, if you're playing on a high spec PC like Rich is playing on, I really doubt you'll be locking the game to 60 FPS for most users with a rig like that. You'd be probably playing unlocked VRR, and you would notice this immediately. And I think John did when you initially played the game, right, John?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was paying attention to Rich getting killed again.
Okay.
Oh, now see how I got killed because
I also got killed because this is the shenanigans that occurs when you.
Yeah, you can't wait.
You can't wait. Okay, so we're all in the same area roughly right now. Come on, let's do this. Run forward, Rich. I believe in you.
Okay, so you just script the thing, keep going.
Let's start this cutscene. Okay, ready? Okay.
Hold on, I'm getting to the door.
Oh, I started a bit early because I was afraid of getting killed.
Yeah, this is nuts.
This is nuts. A lot of this will be lined up in post, so it looks much better. Believe me when I say that. Yeah, so
okay, here we go.
The CPU issues are a pretty big deal. And I think when we get out to this area here where you see me after the cutscene plays, this is where we notice that we think it's the CPU issues are kind of primarily due to the fact that the game is perhaps streaming things in the background and decompressing them at the same time. Essentially, when you look in the game folder, you can see that the game has like files for OODL compression scheme. The decompression scheme as a result of that too. That's used on the PlayStation 5. It is typically never really used on PC releases. PC releases uses things like zlib and stuff like that, much more CPU friendly. And in this game, when you just load into a new area, you'll see huge background streaming occurring, and the CPU-related performance drops heavily. Essentially, Rich, you tested this out on, I think it was the Ryzen 5 3600. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah, basically, I opened a door and, essentially a small cutscene played out where I then crouched behind a crate, and performance was really, really bad as soon as that door opened. And essentially what was happening is if you stayed crouched behind that crate for about, I think 50 seconds on the 3600, suddenly performance goes up like 10, 12, 15 frames per second. And basically what had happened was the background load for that area had completed, and then suddenly the CPU was free to do game logic and rendering again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is, why I think a lot of people are very confused about performance on this thing, because, suddenly, a similar scene might be running 10 to 15 frames per second better. I think it was up to 20 in some of your tests, Alex.
So, thinking about streaming data, should we perhaps skip this cutscene and see what happens?
Okay.
So everybody pause, and then on the count of 3, we're going to skip the cinematic, okay? So we'll click this and have to go to yes. So immediately hit yes.
Yep.
Once we go. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Yes.
Okay, so now we're doing the loading essentially to show
We'll see it. Yeah.
what's going on here on PC. It will take its time. It does some interesting things.
To go back to my Ryzen example, then if you loaded that area with the crate from the menu, you'd be straight into 60 FPS because that load would have done all of the background load as well. So,
So it looks like actually Rich's PC and the PS5 produced similar results here.
Yeah, that was impressive. I actually did not expect that at all on Rich's PC. I was like triple the length. I really was. It was insane. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be waiting here. What I want to do here is actually unlock the frame rate to show something that I think is another issue with this game.
Okay, you want me to unlock as well, Alex?
Yeah, let's unlock the frame rate.
Okay.
John, you can't do that. You're on a console.
Actually, you can on this game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. It's under display, right? Yeah. Okay. I do like the settings menu. I will say that. I do like the settings menu. I wish it had real-time preview, but I do find the preview images quite okay. So check this out. unlocked frame rate on the Ryzen 5 3600. We're just in an alleyway. Like, if you saw this in any other game, you'd think it's the most mundane thing. But it is limited, CPU limited right now.
Look at that.
To 60 FPS, and if I were to move around, it would dip below 60
Your
FPS.
CPU is being thrashed by this alleyway, Alex. Look at that. It just can't do it.
That's the thing that is really a little bit mind-boggling about this game. It's just, you're in an alleyway. You're looking at nothing. You're just looking at really generic things, and your CPU is limited.
Perhaps we'll have to get some footage of this on PS5 with the frame rate cap removed, because that is possible.
Yeah, and a direct comparison here would be very, very interesting, because once again, this PC I'm playing on is kind of ballpark PS5.
Right.
So I'm at 96 FPS, but I think I am GPU limited.
Go to turn on 4K DLSS. Yeah, put it on DLSS in like quality or performance mode. That'd be interesting to see how much better your CPU is.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, scaling mode, DLSS super resolution. Let's go to performance.
Okay.
Let's see what happens
Let's see where we are.
And GPU,
okay, you are.
Yep, there you go. Look at that.
131 frames per second. So, yeah,
2x.
I'm over 2x your performance level.
That is nuts.
That is, I mean, the Ryzen 5, I mean, that particular generation of Ryzen isn't the best. But the reason we choose it is, first of all, the CPU power is broadly equivalent to PlayStation 5. And secondly, man, there's a hell of a lot of Ryzen 5 3600s out there.
So should we get back to maybe now we can actually look around at some of the differences.
Some of the textures, I think, would be a good idea.
Exactly.
Right?
So where would you like to look, Alex? Point the way.
I almost feel like this wall texture behind us here is a good way to show off. Like when you just walk over here and walk up Joel right up to this wall.
Okay.
And this is the first showing of essentially another issue in the PC port. I don't know if you can see it on mine.
I can see it. I can definitely see it on yours. Rich, move a little. There you go. Just tilt it down a little bit to match Alex.
Yeah, like that.
And there we go.
That's perfect. Essentially, right now, I'm playing on the medium texture setting. And I think high, based on what we're seeing, is going to look like the PlayStation 5 version. Ultra, I did a number of tests of a variety of different textures. I really couldn't find differences between ultra textures and high in really any of the views I looked at for environmental textures or for character textures. And this is the issue, because when you go down to medium, which is what is recommended on this graphics card in the menu and per default when you load up the game, it just looks really, really rough.
That's a dramatic difference in terms of texture quality. Look at that.
Yeah, it honestly, it looks even worse than quarter res of what you have. It is quite bafflingly low. And the issue I have with this here is I'm fine with taking texture quality cuts, but if you go into the menu here, you'll see that at 1440p here, I'm right below the limit that the game is set for me. I would be right over if I change any other setting now.
Right, yeah.
And this is what the game is allowing me to do, essentially. If I were to go above this, the game would probably, based on Richard's experience, either crash or stutter. And this is the texture quality I'm limited to, even though they're reserving 1,600 megabytes of RAM here in this game through Windows. I checked it before I loaded the game up. My Windows is using 400 megabytes of VRAM. I can show that on screen right now. I don't understand it.
Yeah, whoa, hold on. Look at my OS and apps allocation. It's basically about 4.8 gigabytes.
I mean, that is so excessive.
What is in that 4.8 gigabytes?
Wait, do you have Chrome open, Rich?
No. Got anything open.
So I asked online about this, and it seems like it's a blanket reservation for a GPU of a certain size. Other people have 8 gigabytes. It's also 1,600 megabytes, and it scales with the amount of total VRAM you have. It doesn't seem to be scanning your OS and making the reservation. It just seems to be a blanket.
How about we go check out some other textures then?
Sure.
So what's another one that you want to look at? We'll let you decide, Alex, because you're the one using the medium.
So I actually find this one on the ground right here. I looked at it earlier. It's also really a lot lower res. If you just like turn around there, Rich, and move a little bit more forward. You're on the ultra texture setting, right?
Yep.
A little bit more forward.
No,
Rich.
you're not in the right spot, Rich.
Yeah, like a little bit more forward.
I can't see where.
Here, look where we're standing.
Yeah, we're like right here. Yeah, so a little bit more forward. It's like
see that little
island.
It's like Florida. It's like the texture version of Florida. So
let's line up with Rich. It's a little
further.
bit easier. Let's line up with
All right,
Rich.
Rich, you just stay there. Just stop.
Yeah.
We got this.
Don't move. We got this. Okay, that's just about right. So we look at I love these videos we do. We look at the texture right here on the ground. A lot of the scattered textures are ridiculously lower quality.
Yeah, wow.
Like look at the detritus there, kind of edging the
detritus,
edging the line between the street and the I don't know how you call it, border walk or the crosswalk or whatever it is here.
Yeah.
It's just like way lower quality. And that was my entire, when I played through the opening part of this game, a lot of the textures you go through in the environment look like this. And it really brings down the quality of the game. And one thing I
have an idea too, Rich, or Alex, we should pop into photo mode.
Oh, that's a great idea. I didn't even think about that.
Then we can drop the field of view down.
Yeah, let's do that.
Zoom right in.
How do you hide the menu? F? Okay.
Square on here. So yeah.
So yeah, like this. Like I'm gonna hide the menu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get Joel kind of in the corner.
Yeah.
And then tilt the camera so the top of the curb. See where the curb is on my screen?
Yeah, like this.
So just so you're getting that last lip down a little bit.
Yeah.
And get a little bit closer to Joel, or make your FOV lower. Yeah.
Is my FOV okay? Yeah, it looks fine.
I think so.
Yeah, it does look fine. Yeah, it just looks a lot lower quality than even like a 4x scale. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. For some textures, it may be worse depending on the texture. But to see these type of textures on an 8 gigabyte GPU, I think is very surprising.
Yeah. So, Rich, in you're using it is Ultra on yours?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this looks pretty much the same as the PS5 version to my eyes.
Yeah, beyond the output resolution, because you're in the 1440p 60 mode, right, John?
Correct, yes. So we didn't say that earlier, but I am using the 60 FPS mode here, which is 1440p on PS5.
Yeah. Same output resolution as myself.
Yes.
In this case.
But Rich is the one at 4K.
Yeah. And I think this is just another core issue with the game is I think video memory management could be... I'm not very good at this.
How's this stuff look over here?
This stuff?
The detritus.
The detritus. I don't know.
Look at this like ruined couch or like.
It wishes it looked like yours. Like it really does. The thing is, like the scattered asset quality is just so much worse on the medium environmental texture setting, and that's what I wanted to say. Is like, I usually with games when they have VRAM limitations, I can understand it for 8 gigabytes at certain resolutions, but here the quality that you get in return and the amount of reserved memory just throws up question marks for me. I don't know if it's reasonable.
I think the issue here is that it's not great usage of the VRAM when you look at something like The Last of Us Part 2 running on a PS4 that has significantly better texture quality overall than what you're getting here.
Yeah, like look at this thing. Like look at this in the corner. Just
all this drum.
Yeah, like look at the text. There is literally no. I can't even see the text on it. There is no text on mine.
Same with this utility box here. It says caution on it.
Yeah.
And that meter. See, I can read the 00580 on that electrical meter to the left.
No, there's no way.
Just over his head.
I can't read any of that stuff. It's just not there. It's. I don't know. This is where I feel like the port really misses the mark.
And yeah, look at these, just the textures beneath those barrels there.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
I mean, the whole thing, like the texture. How's the sewer grate look? Because this used to be like the area where Fear, the original 2005 game, excelled. Oh,
it's
okay.
It's okay.
Wait, look at this. But no, look.
Oh,
look at my
yeah.
screen.
Oh, so this is another thing. There's issues of the Z depth of textures in this game that are not right on PC. Even Rich on Ultra settings has it too, where it's embedding the texture incorrectly in terms of like layers.
Yep.
So that's another issue, obviously, with the PC port. There's a couple other smaller things like that too.
So yeah, that's a pretty significant issue. Little things like this where it just kind of because this looks really good here on the PS5. I think the combination of the water and the materials here.
It does look great. Yeah.
It looks fantastic, but yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. So let's continue down this. Oh, how about this sign over here? Can you read this, Alex? The Neighborhood Crime Watch.
I mean, no.
See, It's because this port is all about suspicious activity, and thus they're blotting it out so you can't read it.
Yeah, that isn't even.
Also, this like
legible.
normal map on the wall where the chunk of cement is removed right next to the pole.
It's seen better days, is what you're saying.
It has seen better days. All right, let's continue. Let's follow Tess out into the street and take a look at some other stuff.
So we're just in an alleyway here, and I'm teetering on 60 FPS, dropping below occasionally. It'll get worse as I get into the area ahead.
This alley looks great, by the way.
Very well, nicely.
Indirectly lit, beautifully done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then the camera takes over for a second.
Yeah, we can leave the camera after it does that.
Yeah, don't touch the camera, Rich. Just let it sit for a second so we get a nice comparison shot here.
Yeah.
I can already tell, Alex, your bricks and stone over there on the right.
Yeah, they've once again everything has seen better days.
Yeah, the amount of texture detail loss with medium textures is pretty nuts. It's really shocking, actually.
So what I'd like to think about is comparisons to other games at this point. I looked at Spider-Man Miles Morales recently, and on the 1440p available textures, even without ray tracing, like this game doesn't have, they are so much better on a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Just missed opportunities here.
How does this sewer grate and this stuff look over here?
Well, it's because they'll move back a little bit, John, so we can see more of the other textures behind it, like that. Once again, just. Yeah, Rich's looks great though.
Yep,
Rich's PC, that RTX 4090, is just powering through it all, making it possible. What is your VRAM utilization like right now, Rich?
It's looking at about 14 gigabytes, 14.6. If that's correct. I'm not sure which of the variables there is.
It's probably reversed. So it's the right is
13.
the one that's the actual usage. So it's 13 at 4K. Impressive, to say the least, for a game without ray tracing.
If you just spin the camera around and look down this alley here, like there's some pretty impressive geometric density in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just it's a very nice looking game, I think.
Oh, they did a great job with the game itself, for sure. Let me get to exactly where you are. Like that.
Oh yeah, here, let me turn it back there. So yeah,
not
look at
bad
that.
at all. Not bad.
Okay, shall we continue?
Yeah. So one thing,
Alex, you take the lead. I'll follow what you do.
Yeah, what I want to do is, before we go to this next part, I want to change to native 1440p rendering and talk about CPU power. GPU power, I mean here. So I was playing on DLSS quality mode, which was allowing me to be CPU limited. And I'm going to be very GPU limited.
Wait, and it's over VRAM utilization or usage?
Yeah, that's what it's saying right now. So if I play at native 1440p.
Despite medium textures.
Despite medium textures. So,
oof.
So I don't know what's going to happen right here. I haven't tested this recently. So I'm below
Performance is bad.
60 FPS, and I just saw a stutter. So I presume there's texture swapping issues going on right now when I move forward. At 1440p, I'm probably very close to settings parity with the PS5 here. I'm also using 4x anisotropic filtering. And usually this GPU is what I call, or Rich calls, ballpark close to what we expect performance like on PS5 versions.
In terms of faster, it should be faster with RT, but that's irrelevant here. Yeah,
that is really irrelevant here. And if John were to unlock his frame rate here, it is most definitely quite a bit above 60.
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm at like 52, 53. And as soon as this explosion occurs, we're going to see some intense stuff, I imagine. It's just a game that, in comparison to other titles, where, for example, like in A Plague Tale, Requiem, Hitman 3, Watch Dogs Legion, like 40 FPS here.
Look at that.
Any of the titles where we have a good lock on what those console settings are, 2070 Super really acquits itself very nicely next to the console versions of the games in terms of performance. And here we're just not seeing that at all. It is an extreme outlier, actually, one that you don't expect. And I don't want to say very negative things here, but I also think that points out to issues, and not that the fact that this game was particularly demanding in this specific.
All right, turn around.
Let's turn around.
And into the building, because there's something I want to check with the shadows in here.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. I'm running. 45, 43 FPS.
Yeah, you're way below PS5 performance level despite the hardware similarities.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so here we go.
So my theory is that when a cutscene activates, then it brings about background streaming
Yep.
thing, which is going to depress your performance. regardless,
Yeah.
because of the CPU burden.
It is kind of funny.
You should be able to see it, Alex, I guess, if you're using DLSS.
Let me turn on DLSS then again.
Because your GPU utilization should dip beneath significantly.
Yeah, let me do
100.
that. It takes a sec.
Okay, Rich. So come into this hallway. Stop. Back up.
There we go. Back onto DLSS.
Keep backing up. Right. Okay. You see this like tile line here? Put the camera bottom so it's touching that line. Like, see, I'm looking down the hall, and then it's
Like
the
this,
bottom
John?
of the. No. Not like that. Okay. Actually, yeah. Why not? So like this.
Okay. Yeah.
Rich, just match what we're doing.
So you'll see.
And look at what's going on here with the shadows.
Yeah, this is a kind of typical thing that can happen with shadow maps, but it's pretty rare to see in a modern game where there's huge banding, acne banding on the floor on the PC version, regardless of settings. I'm on high shadows, Rich is on ultra, I presume.
Wait, am I seeing it? I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of it on PS5 actually, but it's much more subtle.
Yeah, it's hard to see from the stream.
It's really
quality.
hard. It's hard. It's like I can see a little bit there, but it's way more noticeable in the PC version, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of the indoor shadows in the game suffer from this issue, essentially, regardless of settings. I've tried from low to ultra. It's all the
exactly. So you get that. It's almost like a gradient.
Yeah. I think the PS5's shadows here actually look pretty great. There appears they're doing some sort of contact hardening, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's quite true.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's go forward.
Okay.
Once again.
Yeah, they're nice and sharp there when it's fully under the light, and then
We can take a look soon at the shadow quality on PS5 in a really easy way with an upcoming shadow that I know of.
perfect.
You can get some direct comparisons.
Yeah, I can actually see some of the artifacts here on the PS5 as well,
Mm-hmm.
but it is definitely like less noticeable.
Mm-hmm. It's not as extreme. Yeah. Okay, so when we turn to the left right here, John, right where you are,
Yeah.
right here, you should see some texture
Oh.
like this. So
this?
yeah, I think it's this one in between this door and this door. Yeah.
Are you
So-
still in that? Oh, you're still in that main
So let's
corridor.
get right next to
Yeah.
it like this, John.
Okay, so we're right next to it.
So I'm on high.
Rich,
Shadow
Rich,
quality?
stand up right next to it, Rich. Like, walk all the way into the wall.
Yeah, like that.
There we go.
Rich is on ultra. I'm not gonna lie here. I think the PS5's actually looks good, if not is better than what we have going on here in terms of how many edges are actually found on that shadow.
What an odd thing.
Does it look better to you? Look better to me?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's another.
And
thing.
Rich is using ultra settings for this, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
it's ultra, yeah.
So
I mean, let me just double check that, but it should just be ultra just from the, you see,
Yeah.
graphics
yeah,
preset ultra.
sure.
Yeah.
How odd.
So yeah,
Okay.
I guess apparently worse quality. Okay, whatever.
Because
I didn't
so
expect that.
this is usually an easy win for PC versions, right? Where
Yeah.
you get higher resolution shadow maps.
I don't even know what to say about this. This actually completely takes me off guard, and that's not good at all. Yeah, whatever. Dog.
I've just suddenly had a flashback. We just recorded DF Direct Weekly where a supporter wanted Sony to be punished.
Sport. All right, gentlemen.
Ultra. Those are some ultra settings you're running there, Rich.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, Rich. Whoa, I just noticed something. Look at the light, the lantern on Rich. He's not getting the specular transfer of light there.
What is
you
going
are,
like
you are
on?
getting it.
What is
we
going on?
both of us are getting it, but it's not over there. Like what the heck? It's just gone.
I mean, the thing is, the reason why I don't like this is because one, PC versions, you shouldn't be categorically worse for running at higher settings. That should not be the way it is. But also, Naughty Dog is such a particularly great studio
They're
for attention
meticulous.
to. They're meticulous. This lacks that.
This is lacking the meticulousness of their usual work.
Yeah, you're also missing all the shadows from the stuff here, Rich, on the wall. They're just not there.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's just not there.
It's just not there.
All right, let's get closer to this thing and see what's.
If there's anything to even say about this right now.
Yeah, so we've got full shadows here.
I mean, I don't know what to say, Rich. I don't know if it's good or bad, if it's supposed to look like that.
Like, what does that mean? It's just, it's not shadow casting or it's not producing specular either. but it's clearly still like there is light there.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's like a mix. It's not doing the real-time light, but the baked one is there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He looks sinister right here.
Yeah, are you
with
getting a
his
shadow
eyes.
cast from your character model there? Behind you there,
Yeah.
Rich?
Rich, see how look?
No, he's not.
No, it's just not a dynamic light.
Yeah.
What's that triangle up there? Look right there.
Rich has
on
got it.
Rich's screen. Looks like an arrow. It's like you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not right either.
Okay.
So let's continue down the hall.
So ultra settings are bugged, at least for shadows, and you get worse shadows on PC even on ultra, is what we're seeing.
Could
right now.
just be a one-off.
Okay.
Could
We'll have to
be an
check.
issue.
But okay, now this room, I love the look of it.
Yeah.
If you just stand
great.
here, like the indirect lighting, the light spilling in through the window, casting all those nice diffuse shadows everywhere.
It is really great.
It's good. This is excellent stuff. I wonder how the DVD player looks in medium settings.
Let me try and get.
So walk up to here.
Uh-huh.
If we go to photo mode,
Yeah, let's
you
do
drop
that.
the camera down. Oh man, it's hard to.
Yeah. I'm trying to do it. How do I go down? How do you move down, John? Ugh.
It's hard. It has a very big limit on how you can move the camera, but I can kind of see it there.
I gotta move back a little bit. This is harder than it looks.
There we go.
Okay. Photo mode, baby. Let's do that.
Actually, that's a really nice looking DVD player prop they have here.
It is respectable
Not too
on
bad,
medium.
actually. It looks respectable, actually.
So one thing I did notice is that indoor textures in smaller scenes tend to be better on the
So
medium setting.
so they're reducing them in the larger scenes with more textures.
Yeah. It's
That
more
makes sense.
obvious in the outdoor
Okay, that's
scenes.
interesting then. All right, so let's all grab this beautiful wooden entertainment system with this Sony-styled looking CRT in there and push this back.
Get it out of the way.
So the textures start to hold up better in these scenes, at least on medium settings.
Yeah, the smaller ones, for example, in the intro of the game that we were just
Yeah.
looking at earlier in the house, medium textures look fine there, actually. It's mainly
Cool.
in the environmental
know.
textures outdoors that
Right.
look bad.
But you spend a lot of time in large outdoor areas.
Yeah,
So
it's not like you're playing the game at any other area.
so how's this? This looks.
Let's sit still and do a really quick comparison for the viewers of the SSR quality between PlayStation 5 and PC and everything here. And as you can see, they look like that. I can't really tell on the stream here.
Yeah, this game uses a mix of planar reflections and SSR. A lot of scenes have full planar.
Mm-hmm. That makes it
Like
understandable.
the hotel lobby, for instance,
And working mirrors.
and working mirrors. It does, yeah. Okay, so we're just moving in here
Mm-hmm.
and get the gear.
Let's do this.
So let's see how this looks.
Kill some baddies. This is going to be lined up in post, by the way. So
Okay.
one thing to talk about with the DLSS implementation, it is using an older version of DLSS here. And one thing I did notice is that even when you turn off DLSS sharpening, the game does look kind of over sharpened a little bit on certain edges. And I don't know what that is about necessarily, but it is a little bit sad to not see the latest version of DLSS in here. Let's reload.
All right.
I just gotta hit the buttons.
Let's climb up here.
Is using an older version of DLSS a bad thing? Because we're seeing it a lot in virtually every game.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on when you integrate. If you don't want to have any issues, it could be the most sensible thing. But
Yeah, exactly.
here's the button. It's E, of course. I don't think it's a bad thing, but the later version, the latest, like 2.5.1, and then depending upon it, like the DLSS 3 version of DLSS does solve a couple of issues that were present in older versions. So it is nice to see, actually, when it is used.
Okay, so here we are.
Yep.
I'm not moving the camera.
Do not move your camera. We're going to be going out into an outdoor scene again, so you'll see some larger texture quality differences.
So, yeah.
That's it.
I love the way this all these scenes look awesome. I think
Mhm.
just the lighting quality is fantastic.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point about this game is due to the extensive usage of light mapping and static shadows, that is competing for texture memory technically. So
That is true.
that has to be held in mind.
I do think if you can't afford to do RTGI, then using light maps is still the way. Baking out your lighting produces better results. And it looks pretty good here. Okay, so we're supposed to talk to her, and then once you talk to her, then let's look around the scene, because this area is really richly detailed.
Did you already talk to her, John? Oh yeah, she left.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what about these like ground textures here for you?
Let's take a look. Which one are you at?
Walk over to this car.
I see where you are. Yeah.
And then just look straight down. Let's see what we can see here.
So this is one where medium on the car does not, for environmental textures, degrade it too heavily. Interestingly enough. But if we look at Joel's backpack, for example, here, actually, as we both look down, you'll see some differences between the PC and PS5 version for sure on my end.
And then we have this reflection over here, which has some, yeah.
Let's take a look actually at the reflection quality. So, John, can you line up with me?
Oops. Yep.
Yeah, I'd wait for the pool to stop moving.
Sorry.
It's all right. I'm like right here.
See, just pools of water that ripple makes me think of Jurassic Park Trespasser.
That's a good thing.
Okay, so let me put my head right on that.
Yeah.
And they should be lined up now.
Yeah, they are pretty lined up. That's great. Comparable quality. One thing I did notice in the game is when you do have DLSS or FSR2 active, mirror quality will be affected by it, so it'll show the internal resolution without anti-aliasing. Yes, that's pretty okay looking at medium. Well, most of my textures are still set to high, actually, including image quality, image capture. So I saw some people online speculating that this game is using medium settings on PlayStation 5, and I don't really think so for a lot of things, even without direct comparison, because medium's settings start turning off things like SSR on water, and I really doubt that the PlayStation 5 does that. So yeah, let's continue on. Let's go.
Okay. At some point, we'll make the jump over to Billstown, I think,
Yeah.
and see something a little bit more intricate.
Interesting.
How about let's walk up to this glass here. Let's just take a look at this this whole sign next to the ladder. If we stand right next to this, how sharp? Oh,
it is anti-sharp on mine. Yeah.
So yeah. We haven't found any restrooms to analyze yet, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, the typical,
Oh, now we have a gun, so we can zoom in.
Oh, let's look at that.
Oh my god, Alex.
I know it is. The
Wow.
thing is, it doesn't look like
Wow.
even like a PS4 quality texture.
No, it does not.
I'm getting
That
flashbacks
is
to
not good.
Crisis 2 here.
So am I getting any Ultra advantage over PlayStation 5?
Well, for this, no.
No. So look at this barrel here. It's just it's a little bit like what I saw recently in Resident Evil 4, where it's like doesn't stream in.
How do the leaves look if you look straight down?
Not anywhere is good.
A little normal mappy.
They look like normal
Kinda
melted. Yeah.
Same with this building ledge here.
Yeah, everything looks melted for the environmental textures.
Yeah, well, just wait if you check out the low texture quality setting.
Oh yeah, so
It's carnage.
yeah, so low texture quality would be for those who have like 6 gigabyte
grab this
GPUs
ladder.
and things like that. Yeah. And I'll show that off on screen right now. They're barely textures at this point in time when you turn it on though. It is actually something like you would see like around Quake 2 era. I'm not even kidding. Just look at the stuff on screen right now.
Whoa.
I mean, it looks like Unreal Engine 3 textures that haven't loaded in.
Yeah, it really does. Reminds me of Mass Effect. That was a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Mass Effect.
exactly.
So like this is once again that texture on
That
the
brick
wall. That brick
is
wall.
real bad.
Oops. That is,
It's all right. It's fine. Let's go up.
So ever since the day one patch, though, I do think mouse control feels fine when you are at a non-CPU limited frame rate. Like right now, I am GPU limited. 1440p DLSS quality mode, just about 60 to 70 FPS usually in these scenes.
So,
Want to go over to Billstown?
wait. Let's look at the flashlight.
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
They actually do have
go
the
downstairs.
bounce lighting as an option in the menu, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think you can turn that on and off, which is neat.
You should automatically turn it on, right? Or do I have to hit it? It's T. There we go.
There it goes.
So let's.
So if we go around into some of these different areas. I like the flashlight. Oh, you're already down there.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to go
That's
so
fine.
far ahead, brother.
I'll go down.
Should I put VSync back on?
Yeah, let's put it. Make it look not so terry and broken.
Yeah.
That's
Although
right.
Your
It's more like Tears of
level-
War.
Do you want to see if we can check out some of the shadow resolution quality here? I don't know. It's kind of hard to see differences,
Yeah.
actually. Maybe not.
If you stand here at this edge here,
yeah.
do we? I mean, it
It's-
looks pretty all right
yeah,
in this case.
Pretty confident here in the PC version, even on high.
Rich doesn't know where we're at.
No, I don't. Is this?
Sorry.
You've got a different door.
No, it's the same door. Just move a little bit
No,
closer.
No,
to
he's
it,
at the.
right? Oh no, he's at a different door. Never mind.
He's at a
I am at
door.
a different door.
It's that door.
It's that door.
This door? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the ultra. Yeah, that's so. Other than the issues we saw earlier with ultra settings, one thing is that they are mainly placebo in the difference. The one thing that I think will cause a difference, if I can find an example of it, is the screen space shadows from all lights
Right.
option. There's one option to turn it on for all lights, and that could help out some contact shadows on character models and stuff.
So with this said, perhaps we should jump ahead to Bill's Town and just get a taste of a different area in the game.
Let's do
What
it.
you say?
Yeah, no,
It's like
I'm like,
waiting here. Okay, now quit to the main menu.
this is taking ages. I think I've been out about a minute. I almost want to talk
It's like
about it.
loads like a PS4
Yeah.
game. Now quit to the main menu.
I think it's crashed.
Oh no.
Yours looks like it did crash, Rich.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm reloading then.
Yeah, so here we are, Alex and Rich. We're about to do an actual live loading test here to see how this fares. So we're all going to hit start at the same point and load into Bill's Town, the beginning of Bill's Town. So you guys ready?
Yep.
On the count of 3, let's do it. So 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, now
Yeah,
Start.
whatever. It's loading.
whatever.
You'll fix it in post. Huh?
I'll fix it in post. This is the mantra at
Okay,
the end.
so we're off to the races. Waiting. Come on, PS quintuple. Oh,
And-
PS quintuple's ready.
Yeah,
Way
you
ahead
win.
of us. Yeah. I don't even have a loading bar here. That's interesting.
No,
Usually there's
that
a
was
loading
bizarre.
bar.
The spores have just appeared.
Yeah. Okay, now I get the
so
loading bar. Okay.
I'll just wait here until you guys are ready.
Just taunting us
Mm-hmm.
with your
So-
superior loading technology.
It is using a lot of the CPU here.
Hey, the progress thing has come up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm way behind Rich already, though. Ah.
Well, you're gonna have to get a counter on this, Alex.
Oh,
so
it's
we can
it's
keep exact
long.
numbers.
You know, it's already there. It's already there. So this is the one thing that is also just really bizarre. I look at games like Spider-Man Remastered, and that game is also using hardware decompression on the PS5. It is an incredibly fast loader. It's a faster loader than this game is on the PS5, by far.
Yep.
And
yep.
here on the PC version for that game, it's a tiny bit slower. And it's, you know, we talked with them in conversations. We know why it is. They're doing things like compiling shaders on load and stuff that you're not doing on the PlayStation 5 version. So it makes sense that it's a bit slower. But here, what exactly is going on? Is it the decompression?
It is dramatically slower.
It is incredibly slower, and I hope that just showed that off to the audience very well. Oh my god!
So how about we all press forward and just walk straight ahead? Okay.
Okay. Tell us when,
So,
John. You're the maestro.
On 1, 2, 3, go. And just try to avoid rocks and just kind of keep moving forward.
Yeah, okay.
Without touching the camera.
Yeah.
And see if we can get some nice shots here. Got that water there.
Mm.
And then we'll kind of go a little bit to the side here up this path. It's looking good.
The camera does some automatic turning, interestingly.
Oh yeah, you guys have the guidance stuff on.
Yep. Let's go
Cross the river. Okay.
left.
And then now we can just turn the camera.
Let's do
Just
it.
Run up the hill.
I'm playing with mouse and keyboard, by the way.
Where's Bill? I hope it's Bill Dotrieve. Climb this log.
Oh, yeah.
No,
My
You
bad.
cannot enter that. So here we are. We're at the entrance to Bill's Town. So the first thing we have to do is walk all the way to the back, run down here.
Mhm.
Yeah, behind the shed. There should be a board that you'll find against the wall. So click on this and then don't touch anything. Oh, I see a broken CRT there. That makes me sad.
Here we go.
So how's that texture look here now? Another
It's
comparison.
another bad texture, John.
It's grody.
Yeah, it's another bad one.
Let's go ahead and place it on this building over here. Let's drop it there. Oh, we can look at the texture or the shadow here from the board.
Yeah. It's fine enough on all versions.
Whoa. What do you mean? I should be way ahead of you guys. I'm on Ultra.
Yeah, technically you should be.
Walk up to the side of the board and press yourself into the gap. There we go. We got Joel's face kind of in there.
Yeah. I mean, there is a bit more of a fall off on the Ultra version, it almost looks like. Kinda.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily that much better looking. The board texture. Take a look at that board texture. Yeah, just like right there.
Walk over. That is one nasty texture.
Yeah, on the left-hand side of the board there, Rich.
We're kind of ragging on the textures a lot, but it is pretty eye-opening to see.
Yeah, it is just. Yeah, it's the way that texture looks for sure.
There's so much detail in these textures anyway, and it's all lost at medium. Poor 8GB GPUs.
So it is interesting because this game has textures authored. It's not like the highest resolution textures ever seen in a game, but they're authored for like the height of the camera from the game world.
Right.
Oh, you have to climb it. There.
No, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Oh, did I just touch it? No, what did I do?
No, put it back.
I have to W. Yeah, climb it.
Climb up the building, and then we drop this across. So who here? I've completed all versions of T-Lu. I know Oliver has. Have you guys ever completed T-Lu?
No.
No, I typically get up to around Billstown and then I just run out of... Oh, shit.
I just dropped off by accident.
Yeah, I typically get to Billstown and then another project demands my attention, which is exactly what's happened here. I got to Billstown.
Yeah.
And the
Fair play.
And the 4070.
Walking across.
How do these mossy textures look here?
Oh,
Oh.
wait, let me switch to my pistol. Which one are you looking at, John?
I'm right here.
Okay, so let me go back a little bit. Yeah, it's like this.
Yeah, that's the right spot.
Yeah. They look like this.
Yeah.
So the texture right next to them is fine.
Well, sort of.
Yeah, it's kind of. It's also not great.
If you look here, the underlying roof material. If you look
it's also really
poor.
There, yeah.
So that layer is poor, and then the moss itself.
So
it's pretty gnarly.
So there is an art to degrading texture quality if you need to, and I feel like this is more like a blanket pass.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Also, look up a little bit on your moss.
Yeah.
The way it's like the cardboard moss pieces slatted together.
It's all right. I mean,
it doesn't look great.
It's just a little surprising that this is what 8 gigabytes of GPU gives you. I guess that's the surprising part. Yeah.
Oh look, I can see my reflection in this thing.
Yeah, this game uses capsule reflections.
I love those little capsules.
This looks fine, I think, on medium. Perhaps could be better, but it's fine. I like this one a lot, quite a bit.
Okay.
Nice.
So we're here in Bellstown.
Oh, you know what we should have done? We should have done my bad. We should have looked to see if there was any draw distance differences here on PC.
Oh.
We missed an opportunity. Do you want to try it again?
I don't know. Can we still? I don't know.
I'm sure there'll be other opportunities.
There'll be other opportunities. Let's go forward then.
Okay. Gents, let's move forward.
We got this.
Okay. You're Natty Bumpo, Alex.
Thank you, John. I've always wanted to be it. Let's do this. It's lag. So like here, I'm just like right on the edge of 60 FPS, both on CPU and GPU. Like both 99% GPU. CPU is not too far behind. Oh my goodness. Image quality with DLSS is pretty okay at 1440p.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
So you're 1440p quality?
I'm using quality right now. So that is sub 60 FPS right now. So that means, what is 1440p's internal resolution? Slightly below 1080p, is it? When you put the quality?
Yeah.
Isn't it? I believe so. It's interesting.
So let's check out this like great texture.
So that's weird. Check out the quality of my shadows versus yours, John.
So it's like it doesn't have enough resolution to capture all the slats.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know if this is DLSS induced. Let me just make sure it isn't. Let me turn off DLSS really quickly.
Oh, wait, look.
Oh, it changes on yours
here?
Too? Yeah. Okay, good. Not that it's...
So it's just something weird with the shadow.
Okay, yeah. The dependency. Yeah. Okay, good. Not that, like...
Whew. So, okay.
That's good to see.
How odd.
What does it look like on yours, Rich? Does it stay high quality regardless of where you?
Pretty much.
Wait, it looks. Is there some weird?
Yeah,
Like fuzziness and artifacting there.
Yeah, there's some screen space dither going on there that's more obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, if we look down at this, put your cursor right in the middle there.
Yeah, like right there. Oh, the aiming doesn't feel very good right now for some reason on PC. Get out of the way, Ellie. Yeah, what is that about? Huh.
It's really odd.
Let's
Still
I really like. I gotta say, I want to give credit to the artists here. This is some of the finest detritus that we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, well, on your end,
it's really good looking.
On my end, it does not look so fine.
Oh no.
There were some issues here, isn't it, Alex? Because it's not just about the textures. You're running at sub 1440p resolution when the PS5
is at 1440.
Is at 1440. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me go to DLSS performance mode, and we can see if I actually drop frames from that. I keep wanting to go to the graphics settings and not the display settings. That's my bad, though.
The settings are bewildering. There's over 40 in total, and I think 13 just dedicated to lighting.
Yeah, some of them may be a bit overkill in terms of redundant. They're just a little bit redundant. Because you're seeing a lot of placebo differences between the settings. Like we're just seeing right now, like your ultra settings, Rich, do not make this game dramatically better looking, I would say.
No. Compared to
the PS5.
Quintuple.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, shall we continue? John, lead the way.
Yeah, let's continue.
Because your way around this game. At this point, I am a lost cause. Where'd you go?
Go back.
Oh, yeah, outside? Okay.
Oh, yeah, you need to go down to the gate.
Yeah, my bad.
And then Ellie boosts over, I believe.
Yep.
Getting some RE4 flashbacks right here. Haven't played just so much of the game.
Oh, no, you have to look up at that to trigger it.
What? Okay.
There it is. Now it triggers. You just have to wait for the dialogue.
Okay.
We can't hear the dialogue, so it's difficult to know the timing. But eventually, once you've clicked on that, you have to hit X, Alex.
Yeah, X.
Now Joel will comment on that, and then eventually you can hit like a E or triangle or whatever. Like there you go, and then it'll trigger the animation.
It's interesting design.
So playing this game, I was quite. How can I put it? The visuals are state of the art, but the game really is the same game we played 10 years ago. There's no real enhancement in it.
There's definitely some, Rich, and I covered a lot of that in my video, if you recall.
Yeah, like the AI difference, you mean?
There's a lot of differences in behavior. There's the AI, some of the physics stuff, and just the general feel of things is different.
Turn around and go back to this texture right here near the top.
You at?
I'm right at the gate.
Okay.
At the Gates is a great metal band. Look at this, baby.
Like here?
Yeah, like that. This one right here. What does it look like on your end? A lot better. Yeah. See, like, here's another instance where, man. Like that. I don't know. It looks like worse than a PS4 quality again. Like this.
It does. It's really. It looks bad.
Show it goes.
I mean, we focus on this because it's very easy to see. There's as Rich mentioned, there are plenty of other issues, but it is fun to see how medium textures compare.
Yeah, I mean, we just showed off a crash in the intermediate.
What about these the grass shadows here on this police car? Like how?
Some noticeable aliasing
closer,
in them.
Rich.
I think on the PC version.
Try to match up our shot. Get a little bit closer to the left there.
To the left.
Ellie's in the way, but
that's not
there
bad.
You go.
I mean, I think they're broadly comparable here on PC.
Yeah.
Although I do see some more aliasing. Which makes
wow, I really like this plastic material used in the light housing here, would combine with like the leaves sitting around it. Like it looks really good.
I love the texture on the window though, the transparent texture on the window. Like look at the one to the left here, John. This one. Yeah, that's a difference in it or two.
Can we? Yeah, we can shatter it.
Do it. I don't even know how Joel managed to shoot that window in the position he's in. That's very impressive.
The windscreen is totally impervious, however.
Oh no!
Because it's already been shot, Rich.
We got more tree shadows over here.
Let's look.
So
yeah.
there's the police car. Yeah, there's this delivery truck over here.
All right, so let's look
Get
at
it
it.
right next to the edge.
So mine look interestingly different than yours, John.
They do, but Rich's looks more like the PS5.
Yeah, but they still don't, though. It's
No, you're right. It is different. What the heck?
They look like the PS5, but they don't. There is something odd. I mean, it looks softer, more diffuse.
yeah. Maybe if they are using contact hardening shadows, maybe the setting's different there on the Ultra. Mine are aliasing higher though more often than the PS5 versions, though. If you notice it, just if you put them side by side, the one's flickering more. So high doesn't exactly look like PS5 here, from what I can see.
Right.
Also, look at the shadow on the door handle there. Do you see that?
Yeah, maybe. What about it?
Or, well, is there a shadow on yours? If you look here, it's very low res here, but is it screen space?
No, it's not. So it's like it's trying to be a shadow, but it just can't. To me, that looks like an issue of using percentage closer. Because you can see the intersecting one that's closer and the one that's farther away, and it's breaking. Yep. That's what it looks like.
It's breaking.
That's why ray trace shadows are pretty nice because they don't have that issue.
Yeah. How's these the sewer grate looking?
Not. God. The aiming is so weird when you're using mouse. Ooh, that was weird. Oh, it's just not good, John. It's just really not good.
Okay, I was seeing if there's any more errors with the layering, but no.
No, here it's fine. Here's good.
Just low res. Maybe let's run down the hill then. Take a nice jog over here. All right, just run straight down.
Oh, you're using the normal run. Okay.
Yeah, not the run.
I'm gonna wait a little bit so I'm closer to you guys, and then continue the jog. Let's do this. There we go. Sun peeking through. Okay. That is nice.
Yeah.
So one thing that we haven't tested yet that I've read online is that there could be playback timing issues when you're above 60 FPS at times for certain things.
Really?
Yeah. People are saying audio would not be in sync in certain cutscenes. And that, there's been other meme-worthy things that John has pointed out very nicely on Twitter.
Oh yeah, the sweating.
The sweating.
Or the water.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It's great. It is great. I've yet to see that while playing the game, though. So maybe that's just one of the rarer bugs you can get. Yeah, just these environmental textures. My Jeebus.
My Jeebus. Yes. My Jeebus. Ask Jeebus.
So it is.
Okay, so this is definitely enlightening, I must say.
Yeah, I don't know. We talked about this recently just on the DF Direct, but where would you like to see this port go after launch, John? Like, what would you see like the improvements you would like to see?
I mean, fundamentally, I think it's not too much to ask that a similar spec PC to the PlayStation 5 should be able to deliver PlayStation 5 like performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think there's other issues with things like loading times and the way they handle like their VRAM management and such.
Yeah.
I think they need to work on the texture issues, because I don't think just basically like in your case, you can't go above medium textures without a serious penalty, right?
Yeah, earlier when I did it.
Medium seems, it just, I don't know, like the way it's done, I suppose it's not that easily fixable, but it doesn't feel great. It really has a negative impact on the experience.
Yeah,
but
that's the way I see it. Yeah.
There's first principle stuff here. Basically, if you look at why my system actually runs this game well, it's because we've got a surfeit of CPU power. Mm-hmm. We've got a surfeit of GPU power and a surfeit of VRAM. So the GPU side of things, I'd say, is probably the third sort of priority. The second priority is probably going to be the VRAM streaming, which leads into the first, which is the CPU performance, which is insanely high for for what this is doing compared to the PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah, it's also just a little bit surprising because the game at its core, in terms of environmental design, in terms of how far out things go, it does reach back to that PS3 era. Obviously, we're seeing much higher res assets, much density of assets, but it is not like an easy case where, like in Spider-Man Remastered, I could understand the CPU utilization there and the performance. Here, I just don't understand it based upon the visuals on show in comparison. That's a shame.
Yeah, so, oh wait, this looks like this was based on a Ford Fiesta.
Is that a good car, John? I don't even know anything about cars.
The front end looks more Peugeot. I don't know, I can see some Ford there in the... that is kind of...
you can see some Ford there.
Definitely looks like a Ford. Trying to figure out the inspirations for the different vehicles here.
Is that a Honda Civic, John?
What? No,
I don't know.
That actually looks more Chevy-like somehow.
Sure.
This looks like a Geo Metro or an old Civic, actually, from the 90s.
That's why people watch DF, right?
Actually, yeah, that's what this looks like to me. This is like the EG6.
Okay. Well, I think as we go into random stuff, do you guys think this could be the area to drop the video? And
yeah, I think we've done enough sort of just to showcase things and sort of go through this as best as we could given the circumstances. Because as you said, they keep updating the darn game, and the problems are just too vast that the typical coverage doesn't really work as well for this. Maybe this is a project you could revisit down the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If and when they correct everything. But for now, it seems like it's just not a good enough port. And unless you have a very high-end PC, you're better off just playing the console version if you have one of those.
I'd agree with that. Unless you have like something in the, like a 16 gigabyte GPU or maybe a 12 gigabyte at 1440p. And then like a really powerful modern DDR5 based CPU. Or the 5800 X3D, which is also powering through this game very well based upon Rich's coverage here. That's where I would say you're in a really good place with this game. You're still, obviously, you're sacrificing so much CPU to get the performance you have. Like you'll see it. But that's where you can like up that threshold, and that's where this game becomes something I would recommend to play for people.
It is a shame though, right?
Yeah, it is a big shame.
Basically the vast majority of PC users can't get a good experience with this title at this time.
No.
The vast, the amount of 12 gigabyte GPUs out there is infinitesimally small compared to 8.
Oh God, look at this texture.
That's right.
And the one thing that I find really disappointing though is that on the recommended spec sheets here, they show a Ryzen 5 3600X, which is extremely similar. It's basically the exact same as this CPU as being 60 FPS capable. And it is most definitely not a 60 FPS game when you get down to it. In these areas where nothing's happening at times, yes, it is. But as soon as anything goes down, it's just not great. So
I've just found a toilet, Alex. Is your opinion of the game changing for the better at all?
At this moment, it just went up at least 0.5. I don't know what 0.5 of what, but it did.
Oh no. We should stop this video before it goes into that direction.
That's a nice toilet. Okay.
Well, actually, maybe that's the perfect place to end it, since I suggested earlier that T-Lou should go in the loo.
Okay, so let's leave it as is right now. I'm really grateful for you gentlemen joining me on this video. If you did like this video, please do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're already a subscriber, hit that little bell in the corner to be informed as soon as Digital Foundry posts a video. If you want to help us out, support us on Patreon. Join our Discord. Have fun with us there. We answer questions every week in DF Direct. And other than that, this is going to be Alex saying Auf Wiedersehen und
there's no use.